fascinates us today, ancient Egypt. At its heart sat a singular figure, the pharaoh, a ruler, a god, a mediator between heaven and earth. In this documentary, or performance, we journey through time to understand who the pharaoh was, his power, his challenges, his legacy. From the dawn of Egyptian civilization to its absorption into larger empires, the pharaoh was central to politics, religion, art, and society. But who was this monarch? Was he simply a king, or something more? What burdens, choices, and contradictions did he carry? Illustrations are ruins of early Egyptian settlements, pre-dynastic era. To understand the pharaoh, we must start with Egypt's beginnings. Before the pharaoh existed, Upper and Lower Egypt were separate realms, ruled by local chieftains and tribal leaders. Over centuries, these communities grew more complex, agriculture flourished, and rulers consolidated power. Scholars often mark the unification of Upper and Lower Egypt, circa 3100 BCE, as a foundational moment. The traditional first ruler is often named Menes, also identified by some as Narmer. Whether he was one or two persons is debated, but he is credited with creating a unified Egyptian state. This unification necessitated a ruler who could transcend local identities, one who would symbolize and enforce unity. Thus was born the concept of the Egyptian king as more than a regional chieftain, the pharaoh. Over time, his role evolved from warrior chief to a figure combining temporal authority, sacred duty, and cosmic balance. Close-ups of statues, hieroglyphs, royal iconography, double crown, crook and flail, uraeus serpent. The pharaoh was never just called king in Egyptian tradition. From the Middle Kingdom onward, he bore a set of 5 royal names, the five-fold titulary, each reflecting a different aspect of his rule: Horus name, Nebati name, Golden Horus, throne name, Prenomen, and personal name, Nomen. He also wore iconic regalia, the double crown, Pes Chent, combining the white crown of Upper Egypt and red crown of Lower Egypt, signified dominance over both lands. The Nemes headdress, striped cloth headdress, and false beard gave the pharaoh a timeless, divine visage. But more than regalia, Egyptians believed the pharaoh was a mediator between gods and humanity. The pharaoh's duty was to maintain Ma'at, cosmic order, justice, balance, by performing rituals, building temples, and overseeing the land. He was also landowner, judge, commander-in-chief, and high priest. All land in Egypt was considered the property of the pharaoh. Even temples and agricultural plots operated under his ultimate authority. Reconstructions or modern animations of Egyptian bureaucracy, scribes, courtiers, tax collection, building sites. Priests maintained the cults, temples, rituals, while also sometimes being powerful political figures. Taxes, corvée labor, forced labor, and state projects, canals, irrigation, temples, pyramids, all flowed through this network. The pharaoh visited different parts of the kingdom, oversaw festivals, and presided over major ceremonies such as the Sed festival, which renewed his strength and legitimacy. He also led military campaigns when necessary, defending Egypt's borders or expanding into neighboring lands. For example, pharaohs like Ramses II led numerous campaigns, constructed massive monuments, and asserted power in foreign territories. The pharaoh was more than a king, he was central to Egyptian religious life. He performed rituals, commissioned temples, cared for the cults, and symbolized cosmic order. Egyptians believed that the sun rose because the pharaoh performed rites to sustain that balance. After death, pharaohs were buried in elaborate tombs, often in pyramids or the Valley of the Kings. Their tombs were stocked with grave goods, offerings, and texts, Book of the Dead, pyramid texts, coffin texts. Their afterlife was as important as their life, for the pharaoh's Ka, vital spirit, had to continue nourishing the land. Even after Egypt's political independence ended, the image of the pharaoh captivated later civilizations. Greek and Roman authors wrote about them. In the 19th and 20th centuries, Western archaeology revived public fascination with Tutankhamun, Giza, and Luxor. In modern culture, pharaoh evokes grand authority, mystery, majesty, and sometimes tyranny. But behind that myth lies centuries of complexity. divine claims, political power, religious legitimacy, and human fallibility. Pharaohs were more than rulers, they were living ideologies. They combined divine and earthly authority, maintained cosmic balance through rituals and power, and shaped one of humanity's most enduring civilizations. Yet underneath the splendor lay fragility, dissension, war, and the ever-looming tides of history. Their story is not merely about stones and statues, but about ambition, faith, and the human drive to create meaning. From Menes or Narmer to Cleopatra, from Djoser to Ramesses, from Hatshepsut to Tutankhamun, the pharaoh's legacy lives on, waiting to be rediscovered, reinterpreted, and remembered.